Hey everyone, Cream Ray here, and today I have David Synstelien on with us today. David, how's it going?
It's going really well. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. I'm really excited for this.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. So, can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yeah, for sure. I've been running social media now, growing quite big for the last 4 months. I'm an aspiring pro athlete in soccer. I'm a goalkeeper. My origin is I'm coming from Norway, and the last 2 years I've been playing college soccer for Ghana University, Division 2 in the US, as well as combining it with playing in the third highest division in Norway for a team called Gjovik-Lyn. So I'm both combining soccer in Norway, in Europe, and in the US as a college athlete, and hopefully taking a step into the pro league in a few years.
Nice. So again, I just want to repeat this. You know, I met you through Diego. You're on his live, seen what you guys are doing. I love what both of you guys are doing. You guys are huge on Instagram and TikTok. Talk a little bit about that. How did you get into social media and becoming a social media influence in the soccer world?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, Diego, amazing guy, and he was our mutual contact, which made us network each other. So big shout out to him. And for me, it all started in the beginning of October. So I've been doing social media for about 4 months now, and grow with almost 200K viewers now on my TikTok and Instagram profile, just through sharing tips, tricks, and my experiences as a goalkeeper on my journey. What do I learn, and how can I share my knowledge with as many people as possible and create an impact. And it all started with me just having a desire to do something else than just being successful on my own. But because I think that personally you can get successful, you can reach a pro level, and you can have a certain influence, but by also focusing on others and helping, growing a community, helping out others that are on the same path as you, and connecting, networking, doing all this is really beneficial, not just for me, but for the whole community of goalkeepers, especially, which is my niche and those that I focus most on. So until this point, it's been an amazing journey. I've learned incredible much and connected with a lot of awesome, incredible people. So yeah, I can't wait to see what the future holds. It's super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that you have 100,000 plus followers on TikTok and Instagram. How were you able to grow so big on these platforms?
Well, my main initiative, or the two focus areas for me, was one, I need to provide valuable content, things that people find really interesting and educational. Because if you only focus your social media pages on yourself and how you're doing, and it's really egocentric, you're not going to attract as many people. Because if you're not the top tier level, which everyone looks up to, it's maybe not as attractive. On the other hand, I try to focus a lot of my content on others. How can I build those around me? And that's for sure a key factor. Provide value in every single video, in every comment. Second thing is to communicate really well in terms of reaching out to everyone, taking care of everyone that follows you, everyone that messages you, and really being open to help and learn on the journey. For me, so good communication and communicating efficiently as well in my videos and my content has been a key factor, and relating my content to the viewer. So for me, it's been working amazingly, and it's kind of a formula I want to keep working with for sure, because it's both fulfilling for me and it seems to help a lot of people.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you're already having success with it, so just keep killing it, man.
For sure.
Tapping into the soccer side of things, when did you begin playing football?
I got introduced to a lot of different sports when I was young, around 5 to 6 years old. When I was in elementary school, my dad introduced me both to soccer, handball, gymnastics, dancing. So from the age of 5 till 13, 14, I was doing 4 different sports. I was active every single day, doing kind of everything I could in all sports, just growing, getting better, enjoying sports, being on a team. And I just fell in love with football, most of all, or soccer, as we say. because goalkeeping became such a big passion for me. I noticed that I had maybe a bigger talent in goalkeeping than I had in handball and gymnastics. And I also had a few coaches back in my club where I started my journey, where they took me into the first team, the grown-ups, when I was 11, 12 years old, into the first team sessions. And man, I just fell in love with the soccer. It's such an amazing journey until this point, and it's something that I enjoy every day. Just training, showing up, being with friends, and the community is so amazing. So it's been a long journey until this point, and I think it's gonna keep going for a lot more years.
Nice. What age would you say that you started to focus more on soccer instead of and you just started to forget about everything else that you were doing?
Yeah, I had to make a choice because you can't reach your maximum capacity in everything that you do. So you have to make some sacrifices. In terms of becoming a professional player, when all my college friends need to go out and they're going out in the weekends partying, I need to realize that those are sacrifices I need to make to reach that level. And it's just a pure fact. In terms of other sports as well, being on a top level in one sport is really hard if you're doing something else simultaneously. So I had to make some hard choices, some sacrifices in terms of what I want to do and keep working with. And for me, the choice fell on soccer, and I'm really glad for it. And until this point, it's been really fulfilling for me.
Got it. So you mentioned that you're from Norway. I've never been to Norway, and for the viewers that haven't been to Norway, can you paint a picture of what Norway is like? The weather, the foods, the people.
Yeah, for sure. So I moved to Erie, the city in the US, which is actually kind of a similar climate because it's almost bordering the Canadian border, and it's really high north in the country in the US. And Norway is kind of similar. A lot of snow in the winter from the month of December till February-ish. It can last longer, it can last shorter. It's really freezy winters and super cold. Summers are also quite beautiful, but the weather is kind of changing at all times. So to me, the weather doesn't really matter too much. I don't focus much on it, but for sure a challenging climate for people that comes from warmer areas, for sure. Other than that, it's a beautiful country. A lot of good tourist attractions with mountains, with you can do hiking, you can do so much cool, I would say, tourist things that most places don't have to offer. And to me, it's a beautiful country with the community being super friendly. At the same time, it's really different from the US and from the rest of the world. We tend to mind our own stuff. We're not, in general, really talkative. We don't speak to strangers that much. It's kind of a closed society in a way. Mm-hmm. With the soccer aspect, soccer in the US, I know this is more physical and more draining in terms of running and intense. Soccer back home, I feel like it's more tactical, and you have to sort of interpret a really good plan before a game starts, compared to here, where it's more the physical part playing a bigger role. That's my biggest take so far from 2 years of playing here.
Nice. You mentioned, were you born in Canada, or where were you born?
No, I was born in Norway and raised there.
So you were born in Norway, raised. And then, so what made you decide that, when I'm ready to go to college, I'm going to go to the States? Why'd you make that decision?
I think I was at the stage after finishing high school where I was not quite good enough to reach the pro stage. I had some potential that I need to develop and take advantage of before I could actually take that step. And being born pretty late, I was still at a young age, and I will finish college when I'm around 22 years old. So I'm still pretty young for a goalkeeper in sense of having a pro journey. So to me, knowing that the US is a really physical a nation with really physical, draining sports in terms of you need to be in good shape. Me being quite skinny, tall, I wanted to get somewhere where I can really focus on my physical development, as well as training my mentality, and to really push myself to that edge where after college I'm good enough to go pro and to actually earn for a living playing the beautiful game. So that was my main motivation for going to college.
Got it. So, for the Europeans, was it easy for you to come to the US, or would you say it was difficult? It took a lot of time. How was that process? Because, I'm from Canada. I've never been through the process that you've been in.
Yeah, for sure. So I worked with an agency called CSUSA, which helped you promote your highlight video, your resume, and connect you with coaches, etc. So the process of getting here is quite draining. It takes a lot from you. It takes a lot of time, energy, and you need to put a lot into it if you want a good result, come to a good school. And so for sure, it requires a lot from you. On the other hand, it's been really giving. I've learned so much, and kind of living on my own, getting away from my parents, and just focusing on myself and me is the only person I actually need to take care of is such a good experience, because the last 2 years I've grown, I've developed a lot, and I think for especially soccer players, it's a good step to take if you want to grow both in terms of putting on a lot of physical work as well as the mental training. It's really, really helpful, and I've learned tons. But of course, it's a big challenge. Leaving family, loved ones, friends, that's also a big challenge, 100%. But overall, I think it's worth it, and an experience I won't regret.
Got it. So you mentioned that you had to work with an agency, David. For the players that are in Europe that don't know that they can reach out to an agency and they can help out with that process, what would you recommend to players that are from Europe that want to go to the US to go to school?
I would say, go through an agency. There are professional workers that actually, they used all their time to promote players from the Europe leagues to the US and to the States, and they have tons of contacts, and they can get in touch with some of the best coaches and teams out there. So using the resources you have is key. And networking, do you know someone that knows someone that can help you take that step if you want to get into the US or anywhere else in the world that you want to keep pushing on? That's key. And for sure, agency bureau, it's a really good and helpful tool.
Got it. Can you share with the viewers, obviously not your personal information, but what type of information do you need to provide? Do you need to provide your high school grades? Do you need to provide your passport? What information do you have to give to the agency? Can you just share that?
Yeah, agency, they kind of work with everything you got, basically. And they're there as a promoter, as someone that can market you, and as a player. So in terms of what you have to give them, I guess it's like personal information, and you have to be eligible, and you need a visa. I have a 5-year visa from Norway, which makes me be able to take a upper graduate degree here. So, but I'm not completely sure, because I guess differs from country to country. But the College Scholarship USA is what I know is used for most Scandinavian countries, at least. How they do it in other clubs or other nations, I'm not 100% sure. But my experience is that at Gannon, we have a really international team with tons of players from all the different nations around the world, and they've all used some kind of agency within their country to promote them. So definitely search up what's available in your country.
Got it. Great. So, okay, so you're from Norway, then you went to the US. Was the transition hard for you to adapt to the US atmosphere?
Not hard, but challenging, sure. I'd say it's a big difference living in Norway compared to living here, and especially living on my own, first time in my life. There's a lot of new stuff to think about, which I need to consider. Like living on my own, you have more responsibility. Overall, I think it's something that every young person should do in a young age. Push yourself and push your limit. Get uncomfortable, push yourself to be uncomfortable at times, because those choices make you grow the most. And for me, it's been a journey of growth ever since I came here. And not just because I went to the US, but I think no matter where you are in a young age, push yourself to take those brave choices, which lead you to some place you never thought you would be at. And that's where chances start to show up as well. You get in touch with a person that you never imagined that you would get to know in your life. And for me, college, the main objective of going here, other than the soccer aspect, is to network, get to know new people, because networking is so key, both in the way of soccer and sports, but on the other side, whatever you want to do later on in life. I know people from all continents of the world now. No matter where I am going, I have friends there. And by having such a widespread network, it's gonna give me so many benefits, like for the rest of my life. And that's such a great gift, to be honest, which I'm super thankful for.
Absolutely. Now, you're playing Division 2 in the States. What state are you in?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. And okay, so Division 2 Pennsylvania. So how many more years of school do you have, and what are you studying?
I'm studying finance. I think that's going to benefit me a lot in my private life after I'm done with college. That's why I made that choice. And I'm in my second year and initially got 2 years left. Not sure yet if I'm going to take it in 1.5 years, which means I need to do more school. Because if I take it in 1.5 years, I have the chance of getting straight into a season, which normally then starts after a new year in March, April sometime. So if I shorten the school time with a half a year or one semester, I could get straight into a season, or for instance, sign a contract quicker.
Got it. Now you're in the States, so you have Division 3 NISA League. You got USL 1 Division 3. You got USL Championship Division 2. You have the MLS Division 1. What league do you want to get into?
At this point, I would say it doesn't really matter to me if I play in the US or if I play in Europe. I want to get to the stage where I can say I play soccer for a living. If it is based in the US, that's cool. If it is based in Asia, that's also cool. Because I know wherever the chance show up or the opportunity shows up, I will grab it and I will make the best out of it. So for sure, it would be awesome if it is like an MLS USL League. That would be incredible. But no matter where the opportunity shows, I think it's going to be incredible. And at this point, it's hard to predict where it's going to show. So I'm just taking it a bit as it comes, and day by day, trying to work, improve, level up. And then when the time comes, the time comes.
Got it. And what about for the school that you're going to right now? Are you playing with the team? Do they have a school team, or?
You mean the university team?
Yeah, the university team.
Yeah, we played last season. First year I came here, the season was canceled because of COVID. Last season we played 16 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses, which was really good. We were ranked number 3 in the Super region, and on the rankings we've done pretty well. We unfortunately lost the first game in the national tournament, which we qualified for in penalty shootouts, and so I think overall it was a successful season for the team, even though we absolutely could have performed better. But at Gannon University, a really good school in terms of playing Division 2. It's one of the, you could say, best Division 2 schools in the country, which is a positive aspect for sure.
Got it. And in the second season, how many games did you start?
I think I did not play too much because we had a Argentinian goalkeeper, which was in his last year. So he put me in the second position. So I think I played around 6 or 7 games. And hopefully for the next season, we'll see increasing that number for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, the Argentinian goalkeeper is probably gone because he graduated.
Yeah.
So now that's an opportunity for you to take over that position, which would be amazing.
For sure. Yeah, and so it's exciting to see what's going to come up for the upcoming season, and there is opportunities everywhere. I just got to make the best of it, and we'll see what happens. I'm definitely ready for it, so it's going to be exciting.
Nice, yeah, that is exciting. In regards of, you mentioned COVID. I mean, we all experienced COVID. How was your COVID experience, and how'd you break out of it?
Well, I think I was among the people that tackled COVID the best. My best friend back home, he is a 3-time national champion in boxing, and his name is Syed, amazing human being. And I spent so much time with him. And when the corona hit, we basically leveled up instead of decreasing our amount of work or whatever. So we trained together. The first thing we did was we woke up at 5. We trained at 5:30 each morning, lifting, strength, running, all these kind of extra sessions to push ourselves when we didn't have organized sessions with him boxing and me soccer. So after a while, when things started opening up, I was supposed to play in the 3rd division in Norway, and unfortunately the season got cancelled. And then I did a lot of training with a local team of mine before I then went over to the US. And then unfortunately, the season was cancelled also in the US. We had a few friendly games, around 10 friendly games. We played, for instance, the Riverhounds USL team in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh. And so that was exciting, even though we didn't have too much of an official season. And then it came down to our season, our last season in this fall of 2021.
That's got it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that went up, and there's a lot of people that went down during COVID, and it's good to hear that.
Yeah, it's such a big difference.
Yeah. So,
I can just mention that our motivation was that if we all started on an average here when Corona hit, pretty much the average went down quite a lot because people went out from their organized trainings. Everyone had this incentive to relax a bit more, and this time of staying inside, whatever. What we thought is that if people decrease their average, what if we push even harder? The gap when it comes back to organized sessions, organized trainings, the gap is going to be so big from what the average people do to how we actually handle the situation. And I think that made a big difference, both with my physicality, my mentality, and it's something I will never regret because I've gained a lot from that.
Yeah, that's a great point, David. So, you mentioned that, you're open to any opportunity to go pro. You're in school studying finance in Pennsylvania, which is amazing. And as you mentioned, it's going to be very helpful in your private life. Now, in regards of social media, what's your plan? Like, you're at 100,000. Well, you said 100. You're at 160,000 plus TikTok.
Yeah, 160 on TikTok and around 20,000 on Instagram. And to me, the followers is one thing, but it's not really what defines me in any way possible. Because on social media, you can have one viral post and you can have thousands of followers the next day. And to me, it's more about the consistency, how I keep pushing, helping other goalkeepers, especially the goalkeeper community, is something I want to provide my best value to, because I've gained so much from being a goalkeeper, from the coaches I've had, the community I've been a part of. It's been such a fulfilling. It's like living in a dream because it's such an amazing community, and I've been given so much, and I want to give back. And that's what I'm trying to do. Help as many as possible and create the biggest possible impact by simply following my passion, being myself, doing the stuff I do really good, staying in it when it's hard, and then keep going. That's sort of the plan. And where it goes, I can say I have a goal of impacting or creating the biggest possible impact as I can. It's not that specific, and it's not specific to followers because, to be honest, it doesn't define me in any way. So that's kind of it. How can I create my biggest impact and become the best version of myself along this journey? And to me, that's what it's all about, and what makes me happy.
Yeah, that's amazing. I see the passion, the value.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's amazing. Yeah. Even like before we hopped on this call, I seen you on the live with a soccer player that's around what would you say the age, like 10? A really young guy.
Oh yeah, earlier today I went on a live with a goalkeeper called Matt, 12 years old, from Guatemala. And the reason I went on a live, like, this guy is so young, but he posts video every day trying to help others improve, showing his journey, showing what's his dream. And to me, it just shows how much he loves the game, how much he loves to grow, and that mindset. And those are people I want to help. I want to be a part of his journey because he's simply an amazing human being. So why should I not help? And it's so amazing when I do Q&As and I get people dialing in and saying that your tips helped me win the penalty shootout today. And that made my day. My mom got so proud of me. She's never smiled so much. All these things it just drives me to push to get better and better myself. And when I get better, I learn more. The more I can and give back to others as well.
Yeah, nice. So what about actually, let me start with this. How long, you've obviously been on Instagram longer than TikTok, right?
I started at the same time. I think I started TikTok a few weeks later, maybe 2-3 weeks.
Okay, got it. So,
yeah.
So TikTok, obviously, you know, I've heard a little bit. I'm not really on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, but TikTok seems like it's easier to grow on, which it is. But you know, why would you say it's easier? And what have you noticed that's working on TikTok that's you know, that got you to 120? But you know,
yeah, I understand your question.
Instagram. Yeah,
because simply the TikTok algorithm is insane. If you catch someone's attention, the algorithm is all based on how long does people watch your stuff. If they see that people tend to watch your videos and your average goes up, also if they save your videos, which means that they will re-see it later, rewatch it later, it pushes the algorithm to get your videos out to more and more people. TikTok being more popular than Google itself in 2020 and 2021, it's crazy how many people watch TikTok on a daily basis. I think the average is like 2-3 hours or something. It's insane, which means that people want effective and precise instructions in terms of what I'm doing. I know that videos between 10 and 15 seconds is really efficient and it's doing pretty well, because people want to see one thing and then bam, they want to swipe, see the next thing, bam, see the next thing. And that's a big difference from TikTok to Instagram, is also that Instagram is more personal, because you can DM, you can chat with people in a more private way, I'd say, than TikTok. TikTok is more direct entertainment than Instagram itself. It's kind of hard to understand, and I'm still working on figuring out what's best, trying to exploit the algorithm, for trying to really figure out what's working, what's not working, and always adjusting. And that's a challenge itself, for sure. But I think if there's one platform, as young goalkeepers, young players, whoever you are that wants to, or you have a dream, you have a passion, something you want to share, start on TikTok for sure, because I think TikTok is here to last a long time. And it's become such a huge platform for people to share what they love. And I'm really thankful for the platform as well. It's amazing what it has done for me in the last few months. And it's really cool to see also young aspiring goalkeepers, players share their stuff.
Absolutely. Where can the viewers find you, David?
They can find me at Nonstop Goalkeeper. That's basically my name on all social media platforms, and where I share my content. Also do, like I said, Q&As, and anyone that dives into my DMs, have a question, I'm always available.
Nice, guys. Go check out David, Nonstop Goalkeeping. With saying that, are you on YouTube?
No, I'm not. Not at the moment. But I will transition into YouTube for sure. I think it's a really cool platform as well. I think TikTok and YouTube is a really good combination of both having those short, entertaining videos. At the same time, you can build a more, for those that really want to dive into goalkeeping and a certain technique for, let's say, high dives, I can explain way more in the YouTube video than I have time for in the TikTok video. TikTok is more based on like quick and actionable steps that you can do in a few seconds. YouTube can give those 5, 10, 15-minute videos where you actually dive deeper into the details of whatever content you're providing. And to me, it's more about now, what do I choose to spend more time on and really dedicate my time to. And I can't do everything at once, but trying to balance it is something I'll for sure work on.
Absolutely. And which one is your favorite platform to use, TikTok or Instagram, personally?
Um, I see bigger results and better results on TikTok, but to me, Instagram has given me way more because of how I get in personal contact and in contact with private people that reach out to me, can send me messages, I can answer them, and it's more effective for one-on-one conversations and communication. So for me, it's Instagram has been great, but I think just a combination of both have been amazing.
Nice. You know, I'm assuming that a lot of players reach out to you. What would you say on an average base? How many players reach out to you on a daily basis?
It's hard to say, but it really depends. If I have like one video that a lot of people is attracted to, it's obviously more. But I think I answer probably about 30 DMs a day, I'd say. So a lot of people, definitely. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, would you say all your followers are soccer players or goalkeepers?
No, it's I'd say that the main or the, what can I say? Well, the main base, or if you understand what I mean, is goalkeepers. That's the niche I'm focusing on to. But there's also other soccer players and people that do other sports, because I don't want to only focus on goalkeeping techniques. In my content, it's mainly based on goalkeeping, but other than that, in stories, I try to do mental development, personal development, share my takes on different situations, and in general, share how can people improve their life and interpret a growth mindset. So main part is goalkeepers and football, soccer players, but there's also other individuals which are just, let's say, playing soccer for fun as a hobby. There was a guy reaching out yesterday, which I answered one of his questions on a Q&A. He just had a heart surgery. He came back to soccer after 2 years, I think it was, and super nervous before his kind of debut into soccer again. And he told me he made a clean sheet. He performed really well, and he got contacted, and the club wanted to have him as a part of the club. And just him sending me that message is to me worth all of this, because that's amazing. And I can't actually realize how crazy it is, but because sometimes I just don't believe it. It's insane how a simple video or a simple tip can contribute so much to someone else's life.
Yeah. Coming towards the end here, last question before we dive into the speed questions. What's your most memorable soccer moment in your life?
I thought you were gonna ask this, and it has to be in Sweden. We were at the second biggest tournament. This was when I was still playing on the 7 goal, so not the smallest, not the biggest goal, the medium sized. We were at the second biggest tournament in Sweden with my team, the first team or club that I played for, and there was just all of the parents of my friends and all of the players. We were around, I'd say, 15, 16 players, and we were on this big trip, and we actually came to the semifinal. Nobody believed that we would go that far, and I performed really well. It was a penalty shootout in the semifinal. We won it, and then when it came to the final, we were down 2-0. We came back 2-2, tied, and then it was time for penalty shootout. Two of our best players, they missed, so it was such a intense and pressured situation. Everyone was super nervous, and we thought we had lost. And then I had to save, and I did save, which was an amazing feeling. And then I was up next to take the next shot. I smashed it in, and then I saved again the next penalty. So I switched the whole situation from I had to save the penalty to twisting it all around to us winning the whole tournament. And yeah, that gives me chills just thinking about it. It was such a crazy moment, and it made me realize how much I love winning and how much I love soccer. Just it's crazy. Yeah, that's probably my most memorable soccer moment.
Nice. Thanks for sharing with us. Diving into the speed question now, David, you got to answer them quick.
Yeah.
So the first one we're going to start with is, who's your favorite team?
I say Liverpool. I don't really support any specific team, but I'll go with Liverpool.
Favorite player?
Iker Casillas.
Favorite cleats?
Tiempo by Nike, but right now I'm using Predator by Adidas. So I'll go with Predator Adidas.
Favorite food?
Norwegian kebab, or it's not Norwegian, but kebab.
And last one, your favorite artist?
I'll say Eminem for sure.
Nice. Well, David, is there anything else that you wanted to mention on the interview, on the call, or to share?
I think we've dived into a lot of different areas, and I just want to thank you so much for having me on. This is my first podcast experience. I've listened to, I'd say, over 1,000 podcast episodes in my life. It's something that I have as a daily routine. I've learned tremendously from listening to podcasts, both from sports podcasts to mental development, self-development, self-awareness, all these areas. And for me, having this experience of the first time I'm on a podcast is amazing. And I'm really thankful for the opportunity. And it's been really great, interesting conversation. And I'm feeling really thankful for that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it was awesome, right? It was awesome. Again,
it was amazing.
To have you on, and to see you on Diego's live. I know Diego's always doing great work in the community, and I had to reach out, man. I love what you're doing again, David.
That's really, really thank you for that. And all we do is we try to give back as good as we can. I try to create the best possible impact and to become the best version of myself, and I can't do that without giving back. And genuinely, I want people to succeed, and I really hope that. I really hope that this today made a difference in someone's life in one way or another, and that it helps someone. And to me, great experience, and something I will never forget for sure.
Yes, I like that you mentioned it was your first podcast, because that's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So
really cool.
David, before we go, I just want to thank you again for taking the time for joining us on the One Soccer Nation podcast today.
Thank you so much.